Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code P0108 indicates a high voltage reading from the manifold absolute pressure MAP sensor circuit in Honda Civic models from 2011 to 2015. The MAP sensor measures the intake manifold pressure, signifying engine load, which is crucial for the engine control module, ECM, to calculate the correct air-fuel mixture. A faulty MAP sensor can lead to performance issues, affecting fuel efficiency and emissions levels, ultimately compromising engine function. It's essential to perform a thorough diagnostic using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, before proceeding with repairs. This process includes verifying the issue and checking the MAP sensor's voltage readings and circuit integrity. A systematic approach is vital in accurately identifying and resolving the underlying cause of the DTC P0108. The MAP sensor measures the pressure inside the intake manifold, relaying this data to the ECM, which uses it to manage fuel injection and ignition timing. The sensor is typically located near the throttle body, connected via a 3-pin connector. In this case, it significantly influences engine performance and emissions control. The ECM, or Engine Control Module, interprets signals from various sensors, including the MAP sensor, to optimize engine operation. It's crucial to understand that a malfunction in the MAP sensor or its connection can lead to incorrect pressure readings, triggering the DTC P0108. Thus, ensuring that both the MAP sensor and the associated wiring are intact is essential for troubleshooting this error effectively. There are several potential causes for the DTC P0108. A faulty MAP sensor could directly lead to incorrect voltage readings, exhibiting high values. Additionally, poor connections at the MAP sensor or the ECM may contribute to intermittent failures in the signal transmission, resulting in erratic voltage levels. Wiring issues can also arise, such as broken or shorted wires, which can prevent the MAP sensor from communicating effectively with the ECM. Each of these possibilities must be explored during the troubleshooting process. A comprehensive examination of the MAP sensor and its related wiring and connectors is crucial to pinpoint the underlying issue leading to the DTC. The symptoms associated with the DTC P0108 can significantly affect vehicle operation. Drivers may experience noticeable engine performance issues such as stalling or poor acceleration, as the incorrect MAP readings disrupt the air-fuel mixture. The check engine light will likely illuminate, indicating an issue that requires attention. A commonly reported experience among drivers is a reduction in fuel efficiency, as the engine may compensate for perceived load changes inaccurately due to faulty sensor readings. Recognizing these symptoms early can facilitate prompt troubleshooting, which is vital for maintaining the vehicle's performance and avoiding extensive damage. The first troubleshooting step is to turn the ignition switch to the on position, 2. Following this, the MAP sensor data should be checked. Using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, you will look for a reading close to 160 kPa, equivalent to approximately 47.1 inch-degree or 1,197 millimeters mercury, as this indicates the proper operation of the MAP sensor. If these values are present, then it confirms the failure is duplicated, allowing you to proceed to step 2. However, if the reading does not meet the specified thresholds, it suggests an intermittent failure. In such a case, it is essential to check for any poor connections or loose terminals at both the MAP sensor and the ECM, which may compromise the sensor's functionality. To continue with troubleshooting, first, turn the ignition switch to the lock position, 0. Next, disconnect the MAP sensor's 3P connector. At this stage, a jumper wire should be utilized to connect terminals A and B on the map sensor's 3P connector. Specifically, terminal A is the number 1 pin, gray, and terminal B is the number 2 pin, green. Once the jumper is in place, turn the ignition switch back to the on position, I. This action allows you to measure the output from the map sensor directly. Check the map sensor data again for readings around 160 kilopascal or 4.49 volts or more. If the values are confirmed, you should proceed to step 3. If not, this indicates that the map sensor is faulty and requires replacement. For step 3, you will again start by turning the ignition switch to the lock position 0. Next, remove the jumper wire you used in the previous step. After removing it, turn the ignition switch to the on position 2. At this point, you must measure the voltage between specific test points. Test point 1 is the number 1 position, gray, of the map sensor connector, and test point 2 is the number 3 position, pink, of the map sensor connector. Ensure the map sensor is disconnected during this measurement. If the voltage reading is approximately 5.0 V, then the SG1 line is functioning correctly, and you can proceed to step 5. If not, you should go to step 4 to further investigate potential wiring issues. In this step, again start by turning the ignition switch to the lock position 0. Use the Honda Diagnostics System, HDS, to jump the SCS line. Following this, disconnect the ECM connector C, 49P, as it holds vital connections to the map sensor. The continuity between specific test points must then be checked. You will assess the voltage between test point 1, which is the number 24 pin, gray, on the ECM connector, and test point 2, which is the number 1 pin, gray, on the map sensor connector. Both connectors should remain disconnected during this test. If continuity exists, this shows the SG1 wire is functional. In this case, you should ensure the ECM has the latest software or substitute it with a known good ECM. Then verify the repairs made. If continuity is absent, you will need to repair the open wire in the SG1 line. Continuing to step 5, begin by ensuring the ignition switch is in the lock position 0. Jump the SCS line again using the Honda Diagnostics System, HDS. Disconnect the ECM connector B, 49P, to access the necessary connections. At this stage, check for continuity between test points. Test point 1 is the number 31 pin, green, on the ECM connector, while test point 2 is the number 2 pin, green, on the map sensor connector. Ensure that both connectors remain disconnected while performing this test. If continuity is confirmed, it implies the map PB wire is intact, and the ECM software may need an update, or you can substitute a known good ECM. If continuity fails, you must address and repair the open wire in the map PB line. The final repair verification checks if the issue has been resolved. Begin by turning the ignition switch to the lock position 0 and reconnecting all previously disconnected connectors. Next, turn the ignition switch to the on position 2. Once the connections are secure, use the Honda Diagnostics System, HDS, to reset the ECM, which is necessary for clearing any stored DTCs. After resetting, conduct an idle learn procedure to allow the ECM to adapt to any changes made during troubleshooting. Finally, check for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the HDS. If the DTC P0108 reappears, inspect for poor connections or loose terminals at both the map sensor and the ECM. If the ECM was updated and the issue persists, substitute it with a known good unit and repeat the verification process. Preventive maintenance is essential for ensuring the consistent operation of the map sensor and related components. Regularly checking the electrical connections at both the map sensor and ECM can prevent intermittent failures. It is also important to always use quality replacement parts to maintain the reliability of the sensor. Performing periodic diagnostics can help in early detection of issues before they escalate into serious faults. Preventive measures can accurately prolong the life of the vehicle's engine management system, ensuring it operates at optimal performance levels. Incorporating these practices into your maintenance routine is wise for overall vehicle health. In conclusion, the DTC P0108 signals a problem with the map sensor circuit, indicating high voltage conditions. It is vital to verify the map sensor's operational status and ensure voltage readings meet specifications. A thorough inspection of the wiring and connections related to the map sensor and ECM is essential for successful troubleshooting. Following systematic steps can streamline the diagnosis and repair processes, reducing downtime and repair costs. Ultimately, addressing the underlying issues early and maintaining regular oversight of electrical connections and components will pave the way for a smoother driving experience while ensuring optimal engine performance. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.